Hi, Stephen Green here, founder of the Property Investment Academy, and in today's video I want to cover 6 myths in property. Myth number 1 is you need money to get started, and this is complete bollocks. You do not need money to get started in property. If you've had a look at any of my previous videos, you'll see a number of ways of how I structure deals. So there's things like bridging finance, which you can use if you've bought the property below market value. You can use rent-to-rent strategies. That's where you pick up property, you agree a rent with the landlord, and then you will rent it on for a higher amount to a tenant. And also you've got lease options as well, which is a brilliant option where it's a little bit like rent-to-rent strategy, but you're able to secure the property as well. So you can actually just put £1 down, that's right, just £1 to secure the property, and then you've actually got a contract then where you're not obliged to buy, but the seller is obliged to sell to you if you want to exercise that right. So there's a number of ways that you can buy property and get into property investment without having any money. So that's myth number 1. Myth number 2, that you need to have good credit. And again, this is absolutely bollocks. You do not need to have good credit to get into property. It does help. Obviously, if you've got a good credit rating, then you've got more options on finance, but it doesn't mean that it's a deal breaker and that you can't invest in property, because there's a number of strategies like rent-to-rent strategies is a great tactic. You've got lease option agreements. You've got joint ventures where you can get somebody else to put the money in. You could do a mortgage horse. So there's actually a number of ways how you can get into property and earn money from property. Another way is a deal sourcing. So there's numbers of ways that you can invest in property and get a good investment from property without actually having good credit and needing to get in finance yourself. Myth number 3, that you need a lot of experience to get started in property. Well, that's not true neither. Some of my mentees that I've actually taught within 3 months have made 6-figure profits. That's right, 6-figure profits in such a short period of time. We've actually got about 5 mentees already this year, and we're only a few months into the year, and they've made over £100,000. And all of these had no experience at all. So I've taught them from my 23 years of building knowledge and my lifetime of investing in property myself and helping thousands of mentees. I can actually teach very effective strategies of how you can price up properties very quickly, how to assess if the deal actually stacks up, what profits you're going to make from it, how to manage your tenants. So we cover all these things. So you do not need bags of experience. My mentees are a living proof of that. If you have a look at some of the videos below this here, you'll be able to see examples of some of the mentees talking in the results that they've done. Myth number 4. Now this one will be if you're already into property, and there's a rule that you have to wait 6 months before you can remortgage the property and get your money back out. That's actually a myth. There's actually products that are available where you can actually get your money out straight away. And again, there's a number of strategies how you can do this as well. And we also teach these on the Property Investment Academy. Myth number 5, that you must buy property at certain times depending on the property cycle and if prices are high or if prices are low. Now, I've heard people say you need to wait until property is at a low price before you can gain, and this is absolutely nonsense. It's pure bollocks. If you know the right strategy, then you can buy property at any time of the year at all, and you can make very good gains from it, because if you're focusing on your cash flow rather than your capital, then it doesn't actually matter what's going on in the property cycle. So if the property is going up or down, it doesn't actually matter where it is on that scale. So you can actually buy property anytime at all. You're not having to wait 10-15 years for these periods where property is low. You can buy at any time at all if you know the right strategies. Myth number 6, that successful people are born that way. Now, this is the biggest load of bollocks that you will ever hear, and a lot of people actually think this, that successful people were born that way. They are different from the masses, and it's not true at all, because myself, I struggled at school, didn't get the greatest grades, and I even make up words. Maybe you've heard that in some of my videos. People sometimes criticize me and say that I've made up my own words that don't even exist. And this is a guy who didn't have a great education, but what I have done is worked very hard on improving myself, putting myself around good coaches and mentors, and they've trained me exact strategies. And if you learn exact strategies, you can do exactly the same thing. So successful people are not born that way. You can learn that. So there you have it, the 6 myths in property. Now, if you have a look in the description below, there'll be a link in there for further training to the Property Investment Academy. If you just want to ask a question, maybe you've got a question to ask, or you've got value from these and you want to share them to somebody else, then please feel free to do that. And we look forward to hopefully seeing you on some future training. Thank you, Stephen.